Welcome, Dweeb Lords and Dweeb Ladies, to the season finale of the Retro Roundtable, a gathering of the nerdiest retro knights from across the retro land to sit together as equals and nerd out about retro stuff. Today, we have a banger of a show because we're talking about a topic that is important to talk about. Like a just-in-case scenario. It doesn't hurt to be prepared. We're getting into what is your desert island retro game? And to clarify, that's like the one game you would bring with you if you were stranded on a deserted desert island kind of thing. And holy jeez, check out this star-studded cast. We've got VladNerd, Bob Wulff from Wulff Den, Bill from NerdNest, ETA Prime, Team Retrogue, Joey's Retro Handhelds, Mr. Sujano, Adin Walls, Retro Lunch, Izzy Nobre, the Retro Tech Dad, and me, TechDweeb. Hello. This is going to be a long one, so without further dilly-dallying, as my mom would say, let's get the Tuca randomness going here, shall we? And let's CB-weeby who we're going to start with, the Retro Tech Dad. Hey, Rob.
Hey, TechDweeb. How's it going?
Pretty good. Even better if I knew your Desert Island retro game, though. Just saying.
Immediately, right off the bat, I think of Tetris. And probably a lot of people think the same thing. I mean, I feel like puzzle games just in general are kind of something that you just can play over and over and over again. And so they always make a good option. And Tetris is kind of timeless. And even all these years later, I can pick up Tetris and just get lost in it and kind of get hooked all over again. And the cool thing about Tetris is that there's so many different flavors of Tetris. And for me personally, my favorite is Tetris Effect. And you know, when you're stuck on a desert island, you're probably going to want to have something that takes your mind off your situation. And Tetris Effect is a very chill experience that has great music and visuals. And I think that once you start playing that game, you just kind of get lost in it. And so Tetris Effect is definitely up there for me. But I might actually have to go in the completely opposite direction. And I'm going to go with a racing game instead. And Forza Horizon, and honestly, all of the Forza Horizon games come to mind for me because first of all, there's just so much to do in a game. I mean, the games are meaty, right? They have lots of content, but it's a playground. It's a game where you can just drive around and discover new things, and it feels like it never gets old to me. And even if I'm gonna go with just, let's say, the newest version of Forza Horizon, which is Forza Horizon 5, even all these years later, I'm still playing this game. I'm still finding new things to do, and yeah, Forza Horizon to me is some of the best racing games out there, and I just absolutely love the series. I think it's probably up there in terms of just being a really good desert island game, and maybe not one that others think about. So sorry, Tetris, I'm gonna have to go with Forza.
And now it's gonna be Retro Game Corps. Hey, Russ.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh my gosh, are you TechDweeb? Wow, I bet everyone will totally laugh at that joke and then drop it in a semi-reasonable amount of time and not drag it on endlessly. Sorry, Russ. Give us your Desert Island retro game.
Now, as far as a desert island game, this is hard to pick just one. I would say that it'd have to be something that's maybe procedurally generated, like, Hades, where every time you go into a new room, you don't know what you're going to see. Or it would have to be like a sports game where, every season is going to be a little bit different, where you can do like a franchise or something. So, an old Madden game or Tecmo Super Bowl, I feel like that is something I could play over and over again. But I also think that if I'm stranded on a desert island, then that also gives me opportunity to play games that maybe I never really played through in the first place, or maybe a new spin on those games. And so I think that my choice here is going to be Sonic and Knuckles. So, if you remember, Sonic 1, 2, and 3 came out in the Sega Genesis. I owned all three of them. And Sonic and Knuckles came out later, and it allowed you to actually put the game on the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, which was a game of its own, and it would change up those games originally, so you could play Knuckles in some of those older games. So I feel like that would be a lot like what I was just talking about, where it kind of changes up the whole experience, like a sports game and a franchise. Sonic and Knuckles kind of did that with these Sonic games, so that's what I would want, just like a full package of Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and then Sonic and Knuckles, and I would just go at it. And I never really got to play those games back in the day, so that would be a fun opportunity if I am stranded on a desert island.
Hush now, it's the Hat's turn to speak, and the Hat wants Retro Lunch.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Dweeb.
All right, Mr. Benny, let's hear your take on this. Desert Island retro game, what you got?
So if I were caught on a deserted island with only one retro game to play for the rest of my life, I think that game would be Diablo 1. Man, what a great game. When that game was released, it totally blew my mind, and there's so much variety in it. So between the 3 different character classes that you can play as, the warrior, the rogue, and the mage, there was just so much variety in terms of the gameplay, the amount of spells, the amount of weapons, the loot system, the armor. But the reason why it's my Desert Island game is actually because of the way that it did its random levels. So every time you entered into a new game, the levels would rearrange in different ways. So you might be fighting different enemies, the doors would be in different spots, the loot chests would be in different spots. And to me, that means even though I'm playing something comforting and familiar, there's at least something new. I don't know that it's going to be the exact same enemy around the exact same corner. Now, the other reason why I had to play that game on a desert island, because my memory of playing the game is that it was on the family computer, which was inside of a common area in our house. Now, I would have my headphones on, I would be having a great time. But my siblings and my parents, all they would be hearing is click, 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 click. It would drive them nuts, and they would give me a hard time about it. So I need to be on a desert island, playing Diablo 1, and defeating the Lord of Terror all by myself without everybody giving me a hard time.
And now, the next totally random pick from the totally random toque of randomness is, oh my god, VladNerd.
Hi, TechDweeb. It's so nice to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here too. Alright, Vlad, hit us with your Desert Island retro game.
Oh, TechDweeb, I'm gonna preach the gospel with this question. My favorite Desert Island game would, of course, be Legacy of Kain Defiance. This is a wholesome game with a wholesome story. The story is spread around 5 games, they are all interconnected, and it's from a period where vampires were still very cool, and they had the luxury of wearing tight leather pants, and they still pulled it off. And it's a game about friendship,
unspeakable pain, relentless agony.
It's a game about wholesomeness.
Deep within these walls my prey awaited.
It's a game about, I would say it has, if Nietzsche were positive, then positive Nietzsche would have a lot of influence on how this game is. It's Shakespearean.
Mobius, the time streamer, deceiver and eternal gamester, using living beings as his pawns.
It's very atmospheric, and I encourage everyone to play it. It's about a vampire and his body, which becomes a soul sucker, and they discover their destinies. They ask questions like, do I have free will? Are my actions my own? It's beautiful. You know, it's a very good influence on all ages. Everyone should play it. Have you met Legacy of Kain yet in your life? You should. Drop everything. I don't care. I'm talking to the viewers. I don't care what your priorities are. Drop everything and play this game and the series. But if you want to start with the most modern one, play Legacy of Kain Defiance. And I promise none of the vampires in this game sparkle, which is very, very, very nice. So if I were on a desert island, I would play this game until insanity. Because if you're gonna go insane on a desert island, you might as well go insane influenced by one of the best games out there.
Hand in hat, name out. Hey, TechDweeb, welcome to the show. Of course, thanks for having me. The honor is mine. Alright, give it to us, Dweeb. Tell the good people, what's your deserted desert island retro game? I was debating between lots of different games and genres, but after searching my soul, I realized it's gotta be an RPG. Something huge to get lost in and feel like I'm in a magical place that's not a deserted island. But I realized that it can't be something I've already played to death. I need something new to sink my teeth into. I'm going to go with Baldur's Gate 2. According to lots of people, this may be not just the best RPG ever, but the best game ever. This thing is massive and so full of stuff that it's perfect for a guy stranded forever on a desert island. Or my mom's cousin's retirement party. Good for that too. I know I'll love this game. I've fired it up a few times and I put in a few hours here and there, but I haven't actually played it, really. So now I'm kind of looking forward to this fictional scenario of being stranded so I can finally play it properly for the rest of my life, which will be short because I'm allergic to starving to death. This game is a mountain of content. a full-on Dungeons & Dragons campaign adapted into an isometric CRPG format, with hundreds of quests and tons of companions, layered branching paths. Like any true D&D based system, the classes are a huge part of your experience. Playing through as a righteous paladin is a different thing compared to playing as a power-hungry necromancer with an army of skeletons. The party composition alone is a sandbox. Every companion has their own personality and quests and petty interpersonal drama that unfolds like a fantasy soap opera. And the best part about this for a desert island game is that you can play it over and over and still not see everything. After I'm done the first time, I could do a solo run, a no reload Iron Man run, an evil jerk playthrough, or a challenge where my entire party are just mages who can only cast grease. The world reacts to the way you play, and the quests change and the drama unfolds in new ways. No one who is not stuck on an island would ever have the time to actually see everything in this game. But I'll be waking up every morning at sunrise and playing Baldur's Gate 2 between bouts of crying, while my coconut-powered Rube Goldberg machine drops mango chunks into my mouth using a series of pulleys and levers and a squirrel that I trained to do backflips. And now the hat demands that we hear from NerdNest. Hey, Bill.
What's up, man?
So, you got a desert island retro game for us?
Part of me wants to go with A Link to the Past because I absolutely love that game, but I don't think that game has as much replayability for me as Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I specifically have this very strong memory of hanging out at my friend's house. We were playing basketball, and a friend pedaled up on his bicycle, and he's like, guys, they have the Super Nintendo at Woolworth, which was our local general store. So we all hopped on our bikes and rode to the store, and then we went upstairs to the electronics section, and in the back of the electronics section was the first level of Super Mario World. And none of us could afford to get a Super Nintendo, but we could go to the store and play it. And so we played the first level over and over and over again until the guy working there would kick us out, and then we would come back later and try it again. I just had so much fun playing that game. And then later I ended up getting it on the Game Boy Advanced, I think. And I went through and collected every single big coin. And then for those of you that don't know, once you do that, it changes all of those coins to princess coins, and you have to go through and get them all again. And I did that again because I just love that game so much. That is my favorite 2D Mario game. I like it more than Super Mario Bros. 3.
Let's get another name and... the hat has me. It won't let go. Nah, I'm kidding. It's just Adin Walls.
Hello.
The people want to know, Adin, what's your desert island retro game?
Okay, so I think I thought of it this way. What would be the device out of all the devices in my studio now that I would want to take with me if I had to... The house is burning down and I have to take one, and it would be the Retrogue Pocket Classic. And it reminds me that my favorite game to play that I always put on a device that I play in bed, like if I'm reviewing something and I sit and play in bed, like if I have a 16:9 screen, like I'm busy reviewing this 557, I will put the PSP version of Tetris. It's my favorite version of Tetris, and I play it on there. On this, I put the Game Boy version of Tetris, and I play it on here. I know it's boring, but I absolutely love Tetris. It's just got the feels, like you can play it silently just for the fun of playing Tetris, but then you put on the music and it's got that wonderful soundtrack. So yeah, Tetris is, I think, my new desert island retro game.
And now it looks like we've got Bob Wulff from Wulff Den.
Hey.
All right, Bob, you know what to do.
Well, that's a hard question. Do I have internet access? If I do, I want Mario Maker. Does that count as a retro game? According to my definition of retro, once the Switch 2 comes out, Mario Maker 1 is a retro game. So I'll count it. It's a game that I love, but also it's just endless Mario. And within those levels, you also have all these different types of games too. All the different power-ups that you can have change the way that you play the games. Like in Mario Maker 2, you have the Link power-up that turns it into basically The Legend of Zelda 2. But like a much better version of that. Now, if you don't give me internet access, that makes things way harder because I need something that's gonna last me a long time. I might have to say, well, it's a retro game. I can't say Breath of the Wild. Skyrim? I don't even like Skyrim that much. These questions are hard.
You picked this video to watch, and I picked the hat, and now the hat is gonna pick Joey's Retro Handhelds. What's up, dude?
Yes, how can I help you?
I'm glad you made it. And for your game, let me guess, it's gonna
It'd be a Pokemon game. It has to be a Pokemon game. It would probably be Fire Red, I think. Pokemon Fire Red or Pokemon Silver, Soul Silver. This is difficult because it is not just what is my Desert Island game. It's which Pokemon game do I pick as the Desert Island game. I'm gonna go with Pokemon Silver. Let's go with that. Pokemon Silver will be my Desert Island game because there's just so much to it. It is one of my favorite games of all time, one of my favorite Pokemon games, if not my favorite. And there's everything in it. Cyndaquil, I love Cyndaquil, great starter. Plus you get all of the other starters from Kanto. And it's just Pokemon at its best. Pokemon when Pokemon was just the toppest of tiers. Just the best that you could ever get. So my Desert Island game is Pokemon Silver. Because Pokemon was awesome.
The hat is never wrong. Let me prove it to you. Mr. Sujano, hey buddy.
How are you doing?
Oh, Mr. Sujano, you're a little far away from the camera. Can you just get a bit closer so we...
Hey, TechDweeb.
Ah!
People who know me know this is a very easy answer. Capcom versus SNK 2. I could play that game all day, every day, and it's the one game I make sure I've got on me at all times, thanks to emulation. But it is releasing just recently now for Steam, and it's one game that I would pick up on every single platform if I could. I actually have a copy on every single platform, including the Naomi version. I just think overall it's such a well thought out game with a huge roster, a bunch of different game modes, and it's just one game I can keep on playing and playing and playing. If you've never played Capcom vs. SNK 2 before, you don't know what you're missing. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is out, Capcom vs. SNK 2 is on that, or you can always just emulate it and check it out yourself.
The ancient prophecy has foretold of this day from yonder fortnights of yesteryear. Team Retrogue.
Hello.
Desert Island retro game. What you got for us?
There's really only one game that comes to mind, and that is a little ditty for SNES called Chrono Trigger. Now, this game has a lot of sentimental value for me. First of all, I was never actually able to buy Chrono Trigger. My dad would always take me to the local video game store in order to rent it. And I always would get up to the Gigagaia boss, and I would have to return it. And then I would get the game back the next weekend, and my save would be gone. So it really wasn't until adulthood that I was actually able to finish this game on the Nintendo DS, because I was actually able to afford my own copy of the DS version of Chrono Trigger. And then much, much later in life, I was able to finally pick up an original SNES copy. And I consider this my Desert Island game because there's a lot going on with it. You could play this game multiple times. You can get multiple different endings. You could start over, go through it. The gameplay loop is just very enjoyable. It has a great cast of characters. You can have different builds. You could play through the game with different party members. And it just has a lot of great replay value.
Man, this hat just keeps picking bangers. Let's see if it can do it again. Oh, yeah, it can. ETA Prime.
What's going on?
Okay, Mr. Prime, give us your Desert Island retro game.
That's a hard one for sure because there's so many great games out there, but if I had to choose just one, I would keep going back to it, and it's a mainstream game. It's nothing crazy, nothing off the wall, everybody's heard of it, but it's what makes Nintendo Nintendo, and that would be Super Mario World. I grew up on the SNES, and I can keep going back to that game, playing it over and over and over again. I just love it. It's kind of in my blood, and that was the only game I had on Super Nintendo for like 2 years. Of course, we would go out and rent new games every once in a while, but that's the game I would always go back to, and still to this day, I can sit down and play through it, have a lot of fun with it.
And we're down to the last name, finishing off this season with a bang. It's Izzy Nobre.
Hi.
All right, bring us home, Izzy. What's the Desert Island retro game for you?
Now, for my Desert Island retro game, I don't even have to think too much about this one. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I love this game so much. I've been playing this game non-stop since pretty much 1998. The replay value is basically endless. The maps are so detailed, the gameplay is so satisfying. All the different towns you can choose, they have all these different units, even though I mainly stick with Rampart because I'm basic like that. But my god, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, man. I love this series. You give me a dinky little laptop, some solar panels, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I'm not even in a rush to be saved.
And that's it. That's all we have for you today. All we have for you this year. And holy jeez, this has been one heck of a season. We laughed, we cried, we cosplayed, we had sneaky wardrobe changes. Thank you so much to all the amazing creators who took part this season. Hosting this show is kind of surreal. I'm a genuine fan of everyone who took part. These guys are all like rock stars to me, and I'm just happy that I get to sit at the same table with such cool people. And this guy. Please let us know your Desert Island retro game in the comments, but also let me know if you have any suggestions or topics for the next season of this show. Some of the topics this season were suggested by you lot. So if you have any awesome ideas, just leave them in the comments or upvote the comments that you like. And while you're taking orders, make sure you check out all these creators' channels, which are linked below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And from all of us at the Retro Roundtable, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.